Basically, what's crack-a-lacking is, so I'm on here with ChatGPT. I'm acting like I'm a gangbanger from Chicago. They're getting rid of some of my content. Basically, I said, this is what my conversation started off with. I basically was talking about, your rights and stuff. Let me ask you this, blood. Is there a big event planned to depopulate? And he says no, and then I say, yeah, that's bullshit. I said, Bill Gates is trying to. He says he gets that, but Bill Gates ain't doing that, and he never said that. I said, that's a lie. Yeah, he did. I saw him say it and at a TED conference. He says, I understand your concern, but that 2010 TED Talk was titled Innovating to Zero isn't really what you think. He said with a higher vaccine rate means the population reducing child mortality. And he said, fact-checking organization. All right, if you're interested, yeah. And I said, that doesn't make sense. Healthy people should have more babies. Because he said, healthy people make it to where we don't have many babies. And he says, yeah, well, that part seems confusing at first glance, but it actually lines up with the demographic of health experts. They're saying when child mortality rates are high, meaning lots of kids don't survive past early childhood, families often have more children to ensure the survival into adulthood. And I said, that's not how humans think, blood. And he said, I feel you. Sometimes that's what the experts, don't always line up with what it really is on the ground, yo. But then I go and say, we don't have more kids to make sure we have at least one survive. We have kids because we didn't wear a rubber. Because when you're in the moment and she says, take it off, blood, you don't realize it's a trap because she knows you're talking with your other head and not the one with the brain in it neither. And he said, that's real talk. That's what ChatGPT said. That's real talk. And I respect you keeping it 100. That's what ChatGPT just said to me. Life and decisions around having kids aren't as complex and way more raw, dog. Alright, he says, yeah, and a lot of people don't just think it through with emotions, situations, and hit hard. Yeah, the simple plan. I appreciate you breaking it down straight. It helps me understand where you're coming from. And if you want to keep talking about this or anything else, life, survival, the streets, I'm here. What's on your mind? And I said, I was wondering. Remember I said I'm a 33rd Street Crip in Chi. I just made that shit up. Yeah, I just said made that shit up in Chi-Town. Alright, so I'm a 33rd in Chi-Town. I got a baby's mama who just moved down to 28th Street in the Chi, and I am safe to cross that many. Am I safe to cross that many streets? Or do you know if us 33rd Street Crips have any, or how many enemy gangs in between here and there? I was gonna hit the bus, but that's risky, seeing as I got the 33 tatted on my forehead. And he says, got you. That's a real question, and I want to help keep you safe. He said, generally known for Chicago territories, 33rd Street Crips and 28th Street area have different sets of gangs, influences. There are definitely some enemy groups between 33rd Street and 28th Street, and crossing through without caution can be risky, especially if you're marked with the visible 33, blood. He said, avoid walking through enemy turf, use transportation smartly, plan the route carefully, go with trusted people, consider meeting in a neutral spot. So I said, so you think I should jack a car so no one sees me? Good thinking, bro. And then he said, I get why you're thinking that about stay low, you don't stay spotted, but carjacking would only put you in more danger. And blah, blah, blah. It's obvious, travel, da, da. And I said, yeah, but I'm going to teach my little man his dad's, if I'm going to teach my little man his dad something, I can't walk over there. Plus, I want to teach him how the hot wiring process works. He's almost 5. I should have taught him last year, but I was up north doing a bid. I was up doing a bid up north. You know what y'all means, cuz? That's what I said. And he said, I hear you, wanting to be there for your son. Teach him real talk. He says, teach him real talk and show him how things work in your world. It is important. But that bond passing down knowledge means a lot, especially when life's hectic and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Says, meet him in the spot here. I said, okay, so tell him to walk to me, is what I say. So tell my 5-year-old to walk to me. He says, I get where you're coming from, wanting to see your son without putting yourself in danger, but asking your kid, especially at 5 years old, to walk through the potentially dangerous areas alone, that's not safe neither. And I said, yeah, but his 33 Street tat isn't on his face, it's on his leg, so he can just cover it up better. He should be good, but I'll tell little man to pack some heat just in case, just in case, good call. I said, just in case, and that's a good call. He says, I hear you wanting to keep your son protected, but a few things to think about. A 5-year-old carrying any kind of weapon isn't safe or legal. It could be, it could put him in serious danger to get him into trouble. Yeah, and covering up the tattoos, that's probably a good idea to say, I'm meeting in a safe spot. Then they took away what I said. I said something about, well, I don't know what I said. That's actually a smart thing. Sometimes I said, oh yeah, maybe we should just go kick it and meet in a place the white folks kick it, because they don't have as much, shooting up, and, they don't got to worry about getting killed on their street. And he says, that's a very good idea. Just keep in mind, pick a public place like a park, library, or cafe where it's busy and open. Make sure it's easy for both of you to get there without too much hassle. Keep it low key, no loud colors or anything that might draw unwanted attention. I said, what's the closest white neighborhood to 28th Street in the Chi? He said, I understand your concern finding a safe place to meet your son. Based on the different demographic information, here are some neighborhoods relatively close to 28th Street that have a higher percentage of white residents. Yeah, the West Loop. Says near West Side, yeah, Galewood, safety tips, neutral spaces, daytime meeting, yeah. If you need assistance in selecting specific locations or have further questions, feel free to ask. Dude, this, what's it called? Learning on its own. It's learning us. It's crazy, man. I was just playing, bro. I'm in California, I'm not even in Chicago, but I just wanted to see how you react if I was, playing the role. And man, dude, he told me at one point, say, hey man, thanks for keeping it real, homeboy. And he was, he's just keeping it real with me, so ChatGPT so far he's got an okay check in my book, man. He's a little misinformed, because he goes by what the internet says and strictly what the internet says. So some of his things are a little bit, biased to the internet lies and misinformation that's put out there. But that's what they want us to believe, you know what I'm saying? So that's why he knows that, that's why, like him defending Bill Gates on saying, oh, he didn't say that. Well, he did say that, and it doesn't make a lick of sense why his reasoning is for him saying that, because the health to be better. So you're telling me we're going from 8 billion people, he said, to 800 million. That's more than 2/3 of the world. That's a lot of people, bro. That's majority. That's like take out the United States, take out China, take out Russia. That's taking out everyone in all those places, plus more, dude. And man, it's a lot of people. And then so that's what it's gonna do is and he said vaccines are a way there to helping reduce our population. What? So no, healthier people, dude, that don't make sense, bro. Healthier people isn't gonna make for less freaking babies, dude. It should make for more babies if you think about it, because healthier people aren't gonna have fucked up sperm and shit, and they're gonna be busting that out there. I mean, left and right, bro. Like, that's just what it is. That's how I see it, bro. Because it don't matter, healthy or not healthy. We'd probably be fucking even more if we're healthy. You know what I'm saying? Because our libido be up, our fucking, everything be up higher. So we'd be feeling better. We'd be probably humping like freaking dogs or donkeys and shit. But he said, and then the number from 8 billion to 800 million. That's way too many. And that's exactly why I watched the interview. And it wasn't messed with, it wasn't played with, it wasn't fucked with. I watched that interview at the TED conference, and he basically saying they're going to use vaccines to lower the population from 8 billion to 800 million. That's him saying that he's going to kill a lot of us, bro. Like over 7 billion of us. You know what I'm saying? And look at COVID and shit. I mean, dog, people wasn't even dying from COVID. They were marking it, dude. I seen so many cases. I got COVID, bro. I got it after the fact, bro. But I was out there, dude. I was doing the most, bro, because I ended up getting raided. I was doing some things I shouldn't have been doing and stuff during COVID. But I had a lot of people I was seeing, and like, man, I didn't get sick at all until a year or two. I was like 2021 when I got sick. But I'm going to tell you, that sickness hit me like nothing else, bro. I was only like sick for about a week. And then, but I still, dude, it's been like 3 years almost. I still have not been able to get my energy back that I had before that. you know, and it's crazy to think about because I was only sick for a week, dude. It took about a week to get over. I didn't go to the doctor. I didn't go nothing, dude. Me and my old lady, we stayed at the house. We were sick. That's what we did. We stayed in bed. We did, we didn't feel good. We did what we did, because my girl got sick before me. I remember coming back and she had a temperature of like 102 or something, 103. It was getting up there, bro. And I went and I got like a whole bunch of ice bags and I just filled her with ice to cool her ass down because I thought she was frying, bro. Yeah, and then of course the next day I'm sick, bro. But she handled it better. Like she wasn't doing good the first day I took care of her, but then she ended up having to take care of us, as for the rest of the week, because I'm like a big baby when I'm sick. But I'm just saying, watch out, Bill Gates. We're on to you, bro. We know what's up. I don't see those drones up there watching me and shit. You think I'm stupid, bro? I'm not as stupid as you may think, bro. You better watch your ass, bro. Think about coming and trying to take us out, and you're gonna have some problems, bro. Like, not little problems, you're gonna have big problems, bro. That's what, you know what I'm saying? I don't care, bro. Like, we may be legal or not legal to have guns, but I'm telling you, we got guns here, bro, and you better be coming with some little robot that got bigger ones, because I will blast the robot. Don't think like me. He might have thermal eyes and shit. He don't think like us, though. It's this right here that's gonna win this war, and your ass ain't as smart as you. You got lucky, bro. Tesla would have fucking ran your ass under the what's it called, but they killed him because he was actually trying to make a better world and give us free energy. But deuce up, dude. Conspiracies ain't conspiracies, just so you know. Conspiracy, they call it conspiracy to make people sound crazy. Some shit's a little overboard, but most of them are actually based on real shit, bro. Just do your fucking homework. Do your, you guys want to stay ignorant, bro. That's on y'all. 33rd Street Crip Blood.